Okay, so welcome to Tuesday at 10. And we're going to start out by talking about the ConnectBLC. And, you know, it is what it is. It's not the best thing I think that we've ever seen. But by the same token, we're more or less stuck with it, unfortunately. My board's not giving us a choice in this matter. So we have to make the best of the system that we've been given. So I was on they've now started a tech review on Fridays. It's a virtual meeting. So I attended that meeting on Friday, and they talked about some of the technology improvements with the ConnectBLC and kind of go through that. So, and it looks like then they put them up here after they've been done. So if you weren't able to be on the Friday tech update, I think you can get the same information here. So this is what they talked about on Friday: updated map functionality in ConnectBLC. If you click on this, what it's going to do is it's going to take you to a YouTube video, which I think is gives you an overview of the tech changes that have been made. And you know, when it comes up, it'll play and it'll go into that changes.
The recent update to map functionality in the BLC has improved the comprehensive search and view experience across all device
types. Can you all
types.
hear that, by the way?
First,
yes,
the search while moving map feature is now more.
So at any rate, that gives you an overview of the changes that they've made on there. So you get to that just from here, and that takes you into those changes. So if you go into your search and your search map, just to kind of highlight for you some of the changes that they've made, they've essentially made it so that you can have more searches or more properties showing on the map, and it can be up to 5,000. And it defaults to search while moving map. And so what that means is every time you move the map, it's going to show a different number of properties. And so it will recalculate up here, and it's going to show based on where you're looking at on the map. So as you move the map around, you can see how that works. So that's now the default. You used to have to manually check that to get it to do that. One of the other things you can do, if you're like me, you're searching mainly in Hamilton County and northern Indianapolis or whatever. So rather than centering my map view in the center of Indianapolis, which isn't where I tend to do my business, I can center it on the county that I want. And so if you come up here and you click on this little center map thing, it allows you to move the map around and center it. So, you know, for instance, if you can drag the map to wherever you want it to be, you can make it whatever size you want it to be. And so if this is the area that I want, I can come down here now and I can put down here, set my default location to the current view. And so if I want the map every time I open it up to be at a certain location, then I just get my view that I want and I hit set my default to current view. And it's just that easy to change your current view of the map. So hopefully that'll be helpful to you in terms of the BLC. Any questions on that?
no,
No questions? I'm going to try a poll here. I don't know if I can do this poll with the screen sharing, but I'm going to try it. This is a little poll to determine whether you're seeing a buyer's market or a seller's market. So I'm going to launch this. Let me know if you see this poll and you're able to respond to it. Nobody sees it?
I see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I see it.
It's letting
Okay,
me
go
be
ahead.
interactive.
Yeah, go ahead and respond to it then. I'm seeing some responses, so. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is that most of you think it's a seller's market in all price ranges. So the majority feels like it's still a seller's market in every price range. We had a few of you that feel like it's changing to a buyer's market in certain price ranges. So that's interesting information. I only have one buyer right now that I'm working with, and he's in a entry-level price range, and I can tell you it seems to me to be a strong seller's market in that price range. But I was wondering how the more expensive price ranges are. I've got a listing coming up in probably in the $500,000 range. So I'm getting an indication here. You still feel like that's a seller's market. So, okay. All right, thank you. I think I'll share the results with you here so you can see what the results are. And then we'll go on to the next session here. Any questions before I move off the ConnectBLC?
Can you make that the screen bigger? Or I need to do it myself?
I can probably make it bigger. Yeah, there you go. Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's ConnectBLC. They're making changes slowly but surely. Some changes they refuse to make. So if you have any specific problems with the BLC, if you should submit a ticket for it, of course. But you should also let me know so that I have an idea of things to watch out for myself. So if you're having problems with a specific part of the ConnectBLC, just let me know. I'm number one, I may know a solution for you, but number two, it helps me keep track of how you guys are feeling about what's going on with ConnectBLC. Okay, so I want to switch over to kvCore, and one of the reasons I want to talk about kvCore is I want to. It's number one, it's a great platform. It does a ton of things, and as we get more familiar now with ConnectBLC and the ability to run our businesses that way, I think it's time to start looking at kvCore and some of the functionality that we have with kvCore and what's going on. So this if you haven't been to kvCore recently, this is your kvCore dashboard, and it shows up when you first log in to kvCore. And this little section here is kind of how you navigate around. You can close that if you don't want to see it. And if you hover over the icons, it shows you what they do. So either way, you can have this open or closed. I like to have it closed because, I can find things over here. But one of the things I want to point out to you is the marketing section, because this is probably one of the more useful parts of kvCore for you as an agent. And specifically, we're going to take a look at the core listing machine, which is one of the more useful things that kvCore offers for the listing agent. And all of us want to be listing agents. So this is something that's good for all of us. One of the things that you need to keep in mind is, okay, it's been pretty easy to sell listings the last year, but we can't count on that kind of market staying around to where all we've got to do is list it, put a few pictures up online, and bang, it's sold. Our biggest problem is managing the offers that we're getting for the property. But we can't count on that staying around. And in fact, if you have a listing that's not a primo listing and it's in a higher price range, you may find that it's not that easy to sell it. Also, we're in competition with other people to get listings. And so you want to make sure that you have a good story to tell about the services and the tools that you can offer when you list a property. And one of the nice things about the kvCore tools is they're automated. So once you set this up, it runs for you. You don't, there's nothing that you have to do to make this happen. It just runs on its own. And that's a really good thing for you as an agent. So when you go to Core Listing Machine, when you click on that, it's going to take you to the Core Listing Machine page, which looks like this. And it's going to give you a dashboard just like your regular dashboard. Down here, it's going to show you all your listings. Now, I don't have any active listings right now, so there's no listings to show. I can show my inactive listings down here. Now, if you have active listings, then there'll be another button over here that says Actions, and it allows you to get links to the various tools that you can use. So one of the things that I wanted to highlight here is there's some really good training videos out on kvCore that get you acquainted with the listings, what you can do for listings. So I've selected some videos that they've produced because they can do it just as good as me, if not better. And so I want to show you some of these videos and let you see what some of the power is of the Core Listing Machine. And most of this is automated for you. So you have to do very little to have this. In fact, it can be completely automated. It's only not completely automated if you want to make changes. But if you want to just let it run the way it runs, then you don't even have to make any changes. It'll do everything automated for you. So let me play a couple of these videos for you. They're very short, but they give you some good insight into how this works.
Hello, agents. We're going to do an overview of the property site tours that are created for every single one of your listings that you upload into the MLS. Because property sites are listing specific, you'll need to be looking at the active listings section of your Core Listing Machine homepage. And there are two ways to see your property sites. You can either click on the action drop-down and then virtual tour, or you can click view on the listing. Once you're on the property details page, you'll see View Tour Site on the top right. When you click on that, it takes you to the site in a separate tab in case you'd like to edit some of the details in the site while looking at it. You can also access your property site through the posted tour email you will have received for that listing. The property site gives your listings a very professional appearance, and it's got a wonderful slideshow in the header, which just makes everything look sharp and gorgeous. The slideshow also features music and a voiceover that provides your visitors with the property's details and how to get in contact with you as the realtor. Visitors can pause the slideshow and change the volume too as needed. If you don't wish to have the images in a slideshow or want to disable the voiceover, go into your listings details section and click on Activate Media. The Presentation tab at the top controls the voiceover and music, while the Slideshows tab controls the image movement. All you have to do is click into the tab that controls what you want to change and uncheck the Active On box, either for presentation or slideshow, and then click Save Changes. An important piece of the property site is this chat box in the header section to the right. It'll always appear when a visitor is on the site and captures their information if they utilize it to contact you. This is particularly one of our agents' favorite features because it instantly sends the information right to your phone. Visitors can close the chat box and hide it, but it will still be there waiting for them if they have any questions they'd like answered in real time. The listings details will be right under the header slideshow with the information that you've added into the MLS for that property. You're able to add descriptions here as desired and update the listings information, like if the price changes. To do that, you'll go into the listings details section and click on Edit Listing Info. If you have an open house plan for this particular listing, you can click into the open house section from the listings details page in Core Listing Machine and set up an announcement for further engagement and lead capture opportunities. Your agent information, along with a way to schedule a showing and a link to your kvCore website, will also be displayed on your property site tour. You have two options when it comes to your bio, a standard written bio or a video bio. You have the option to use both, and the video is really neat because the majority of people would rather watch a video than read a paragraph. The View My Listings section will show any other listings you may have in the MLS with a link to their individual property sites. The Mortgage Calculator is another lead capture opportunity since all three buttons include a Request More Information option. Even if you don't have loan information on hand, this is another way to nurture the relationship with that prospect, and you can guide them to the appropriate partner if you're working with anyone in particular. The printable brochure allows your visitors to send a quick information overview to someone else. And this is very useful when partners are house hunting together, or if one of your visitors wants to share the property with a friend or family member they think may be interested. Nearby school information is huge on a property site because what school a family's children will be going to is a big determining factor during the search for a home and its location. Having this section here shows that you've really done your research and are thorough in providing all different aspects of what may affect their home purchase. Underneath that, you'll have a walk score and local weather section. These are extra tidbits of information that again speak to your thoroughness and complete knowledge of your area of expertise as an agent. The driving directions can also be combined with the weather data for a potential lead to plan out a drive-by to see the property. If there are any sections that you don't wish to be displayed on your property site tour, you can hide them by going into your Core Listing Machine homepage and clicking View for the specific listing. On the left, you'll see Tour Preferences, and once you click into that area, you'll be able to check or uncheck any of the related settings, including hiding different sections like the weather info or walk score, stuff like that. At the top of the property site, you'll see a few different navigation options for separate areas of the tour. Only the navigation tabs for areas that you have added content will appear. If you don't have a 3D model, for example, that tab won't appear at the top of your property site. We're looking at the presentation, but if you go into the gallery, it will show you all the pictures you've uploaded into the MLS. These are displayed in the order that you uploaded them to the MLS. So if you need to reorder the images, simply go back into your listings detail page in Core Listing Machine and click on Arrange Media to the left. There, you'll be able to change the order of any images related to that listing. Just make sure you click the Slideshow tab so it updates the correct media feature. The next tab is Videos, and this is where you're able to add any video tours that you may have taken, or perhaps an aerial tour by drone you had done to really showcase the house and its landscape or location. If you use Matterport, then the 3D model option is going to be really exciting for you. It allows you to upload a Matterport tour that you've already had produced, and visitors will be able to virtually walk through the property, checking out all the different highlights and features. All the little circles indicate where the camera was placed when the house was photographed, and as you click on each one, you're able to move throughout the house looking through different angles and views. It's really neat technology, and you can seamlessly integrate it into your property site if you're utilizing Matterport. If you or the seller has had any floor plans created for a particular listing, the floor plan section is where you'll be able to display them. Just like the 3D model, it's a different way to visualize the property so interested people can get a feel for the house. Within the floor plan, you might see little green boxes that when clicked will show you a picture of what that room looks like. This has a similar goal to what the Matterport house model does, but at a fraction of the cost. It still gives visitors a feel for the property, but it's not going to cost you a ton. The property site really is the best feature of Core Listing Machine. It makes you look professional, it makes the property look beautiful, and it gives you lots of opportunities to capture lead contact information. If you ever need assistance, our support team can be reached Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 5 p.m.
So that talks about the property site tour. And by the way, that's produced for you automatically when you put a listing in. So you don't have to add this manually. As soon as you put a listing into the BLC, then kvCore, because we have the Core Listing Machine, it will produce that property site tour for you. It also produces a listing video for you automatically. So
Hello agents, welcome to your listings overview. For every listing that you upload to the MLS, Core Listing Machine will create a listing video. If you have your YouTube account connected, we will auto-post that listing video to your channel. It may take up to 48 hours, but that automation is going to be a great time saver as well as a fantastic engagement and advertising opportunity for your business. We create these videos and auto-post them for a few reasons, but the biggest is that for Google, video is king, and it actually gives a higher priority to video searches. Google will look at different web pages' content, and then it looks to see if any of that content is connected to other web pages, but we'll go into that in a minute. For now, let's take a look at a listing video. Click Actions for that particular listing you'd like to view, and then click Tour Links. You'll then need to select the listing again and click Select Listing. All your different link options will appear on this page, and one of them will be your YouTube link for your listing video. The first thing that you will notice is that the title says Home for Sale, which is a key search term that will help with your SEO. And then it includes the address, which is handy because sometimes homeowners will search their address. And because Google gives priority to video, your channel with this video will show up in their search results. It's a nice way to show them a little bit of what you're doing for them as their listing agent. In the video's description, we also have backlinks. These are important because, like we mentioned before, search engines prioritize the content on a page and look to see what else is connected to it. So these backlinks show how those search engines, as well as any viewers, that you're connected to the real estate industry.
okay, I just wanted to show you some of those things. Now you can, this is part of the Core Listing Machine Agent Quick Start, which you should have already seen if you've completed the Quick Start training. If you haven't, I encourage you to do the Quick Start training. And also, even if you've done the quick start training, I would encourage you to go in and review it, because there's so many things that that the kvCore can do that it is it's important to keep reviewing those things, because you just simply forget things that it does. But these are some of the automated things, and it's important to let any of your listing prospects know that this is the kind of marketing that you're going to be able to do for their property. And so that enables you to be competitive with any other agents that may be trying to get a listing, keeping in mind that even if this is someone from your sphere of influence, and most of us prefer to work with our sphere of influence, keep in mind that everyone that you know knows probably 2 or 3 other realtors. And so you're still in competition, even with somebody that is a friend of yours or someone who's in your sphere of influence. It's easy to lose that business to someone else. So any questions from you in terms of the things that I've shown you with either the ConnectBLC or Core Listing Machine? I do encourage you to take advantage of those tools that you have. They're really robust, and it does a lot for you automated.
And the
So-
videos go the core listing machine, and the videos are there.
Yeah. Now you have to go in, you have to set up your profile. So if you haven't set up your profile yet, and you haven't set up your profile in Core Listing Machine. So when you go to your Core Listing Machine page, right up here is your profile. Okay. And you have to set that up and set up your agent preferences and et cetera. I guess you're not seeing. Let me share screen again. Okay, so when you go into Core Listing Machine, you've got agent setup. So you need to make sure that you have set up your Core Listing Machine, as well as when you're on the main tab in when you're on your main tab in kvCore, this area here, right here. You also want to make sure you have your profile set up here. So once you set all your profiles up, this will all be automated, and it all happens automatically. But there is some work that you need to do up front, which is set up your profiles so that it will in fact do that for you. Any other questions? All right, no other questions. We're about out of time. We have 2 minutes if you have a question. No? Okay. Have a great day, and we will see you next Tuesday at the latest.
Thank you, Jim.